Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Savvy Sales Lady Live. I'm your host, Christine Harrington. I'm so happy you're here with me today, and I have a couple of announcements to make. The first one is I launched my new website today, ChristineHarrington.com. Same website domain name as before, but it's a new and improved website. I hope you go and check it out. And we're going to talk about this storytelling today. Storytelling. And here's something that, here's a story I want to tell you before we dive into how to tell a story. All right. Now, this didn't happen that long ago. And I've got this hair on my face that I keep messing with. I can't get it. So this happened not long ago. I had a prospect that booked a Sales Lifeline coaching session with me that ended up becoming a mindset client, because we'll call her Laura just for the keeping her privacy. And Laura was fascinating to talk to. She was a top performing sales rep on paper, but inside she was crumbling. Every morning she would open her CRM up, stare at her leads, and feel this wave of dread come over her. She said to me, Christine, I know what to do. I just can't seem to make myself do it. Has that ever happened to you? I know it has to me. So Laura joined my Mindset Reset coaching program, and almost she joined out of desperation. She didn't know what else to do. And during the coaching, she realized something powerful. Her sales slump wasn't about skill. And I say this all the time, and it's like nobody believes me. Whenever you're in a sales slump, it's rarely about learning a new skill. It's more about managing your mindset. And she'd been telling herself all kinds of stories of fear and failure before she ever picked up the phone to make prospecting calls. Okay, I'm going to get that hair sooner or later. But the turning point with her came when she learned how to reframe her thoughts, which is what I teach you in the Mindset Reset webinar, but we go deeper in it in coaching sessions. And I showed her how to reframe her thoughts and how to reset before every sales conversation. There's simple breathing techniques you can do, reset phrases that you can do in order to shift your state in about under 60 seconds. Really, it works. Once you learn how to do it, you can do it in less than 60 seconds. So fast forward, Laura called me in tears on Friday, and she said, Christine, I'm back. I'm booking meetings again. I'm excited to sell again, and I actually look forward to my day. She closed more deals than she had in the previous quarter. That's how powerful mindset is. And I want you to understand that. Would you drop in the comment section if you do mindset work? If you do, great. If you don't and want to know more about it, let's connect. That's the power of a mindset reset. It's not just about sales results. It's about taking your confidence back, your energy, giving you energy, and giving your life back. Got it. Now, I think, nope. Okay. Join my Mindset Reset webinar. Do it today. Get in on the early bird price. It's only $47 and the price will go up on Friday. There's only 50 seats and we have quite a bit that have been taken already. I haven't looked at the numbers yet today. The webinar will be live October 21st at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. If for some reason you can't attend, the replay will be available. All the free resources will be available, and so will the offers be available to you if you can't make it live. So it's a win-win. You just can't lose by registering. Now, I can tell you with over 50 years in selling, I've learned that salespeople who master storytelling don't just sell products, they inspire change. And here's the truth. Storytelling isn't about being clever. It's about helping your prospects see themselves in the transformation you're offering. So you're telling them stories about clients, current clients that have had success stories that you can share with the prospect you're talking to. So let's get into storytelling. Okay. Why does storytelling work? Because the brain loves stories. The neuroscience shows that when someone hears a story, multiple areas of the brain light up, not just language processing, but emotions, memories, and decision-making centers. That's why a well-told story is far more persuasive than a fact sheet. Think about it. When was the last time you remembered a statistic? Now, when was the last time you remembered a powerful story? See the difference? Exactly. People don't remember the statistics, but they will always remember a story. Now, why is that powerful? Because in the brain, there's a memory center. And when feelings are attached to a powerful story, you're more likely to remember it. All right. Let's just take this for example. Do you remember where you were on 9/11? Most people remember where they were on 9/11 because that tragic terrorist attack in the United States had a dramatic impact on people that saw the towers come down. And like me, I was at a Mutual of Omaha training in Nebraska, Omaha, Nebraska, when we were let out of a class to go. I think we were on a break or lunch, and they had the TV on outside in the hallways. And I turned to someone in the class and I said, is this an advertisement for a new Die Hard movie? That's what I thought. And then somebody who was standing there watching it said, no, we're under attack. I remember distinctly that day. I bet you do too. That's because there was a feeling attached to that memory. That's why it's still strong all these years later for me. That's why a powerful story, when it's attached to feelings, is so memorable. All right. When to use storytelling in sales. Let's get there. When do you use storytelling in sales? So you're going to use it during rapport building. Okay. Now, let me stop right here. You're not going to use storytelling in each one of these situations that we're going to talk about. You're going to pick one while you're having the conversation of when you think a good story would fit in. So you're not going to, while you're building rapport, tell a story. While you're uncovering needs, tell a story. While you're handling objections, tell a story. Or while you're, closing the deal, telling a story. You're going to have to discern when's the best time to tell a story. But let's see what might work if we do a story during rapport building. So early on, a short personal story, something authentic, can warm up the conversation. Not about your product yet. So you're not talking about your product, just about connecting human to human. And I don't mean where you're going to say, hey, where's your favorite golf course? Nothing like that. But something that you can relate to the prospect early on in the conversation to build rapport. Number 2, when uncovering needs. If a prospect shares a pain point, this is a possible moment for you to share a client story who had the same struggle, showing them they're not alone. Now, this is important. So you want to relate a story that's similar to the same struggle that the prospect is going through. If you share a story about another type of struggle, that isn't going to mean anything to the prospect. Remember, you're always going to align with the prospect. So he shares a struggle or she shares a struggle, and then you can show them they're not alone by sharing a client story that the end of the story, of course, was success, that they shared the same struggle. Okay? Does that make sense? All right. Number 3, how does storytelling help when handling objections? Well, as you've heard me say over and over again, you're never going to argue with the prospect. All right. Your goal is to align with the prospect. You may not agree with them, but you're going to align with them because you're not going to change people's minds when it comes to certain issues. Okay. But tell a story about a client that had the same objection and what happened when they move forward. That's social proof that you're wrapping in a narrative. And it has to be aligned again with that prospect. The struggle and then the objection has to align with what the prospect is telling you. Now, my favorite place to use stories is during the close, because if they're hesitant, the story can get them over the fence. All right. Stories should help paint the picture of, if they move forward, what they can expect. So the happy ending, so to speak, right? And you're going to align it with whatever the prospect is telling you. So what life or business looked like after they said yes, that's what you want to present to them. That future pacing sticks in their mind longer than any discount ever could. Realtors are really good at this. They're really good at painting the picture. Imagine your family playing in this yard, having dinner out at the gazebo. I mean, they're very good at painting pictures. And no matter what product or service you're selling, you can be really good at painting the picture as well. Okay. So, how to craft a story that sells. This is your 3-point story framework. So, the first one is the struggle. Describe the relatable challenge. All right. So, what I said to you in the beginning, let me go back to the beginning. I've got my notes here right in front of me. I said in the beginning that a prospect that became a mindset coaching client who enrolled in my mindset reset coaching program, she was a top performer. She looked great on paper, but she was always crumbling inside, because every morning she would open up her CRM, stare at her leads, and feel this wave of dread. She told me, Christine, I know what to do. I just can't seem to make myself do it. All right. Now I shared with you Laura's struggle, right? All right. Now we're going to go to step 2, the turning point. The turning point is Laura joined my Mindset Reset coaching program almost out of desperation, because her sales slump wasn't about skill. It was about her mindset. She'd been telling her story of fear and failure before she ever picked up the phone. And the turning point came when she learned how to reframe her thoughts and reset before each sales conversation. I gave her simple breathing techniques, reset techniques, so that she could shift her state in under 60 seconds. All right. So that is number 2, the turning point in my story of Laura, which is true, by the way. And now we go to the success part of the story. Fast forward 2 weeks, and well, actually it was Friday. Laura called me in tears, happy tears. She said, Christine, I'm back. I'm booking meetings again. I'm excited to sell, and I actually look forward to my day. That is her success story. And that just gives you an example how the story plays out. I'm telling you the story by using the 3-point story framework: the struggle, the turning point, and then saying the success. And if you have to write this out, that's fine. Write it out. Use these tips and write it out. Because the struggle describes the relatable challenge. The turning point is what decision or action shifted the outcome. All right. Well, the decision was she moved forward with mindset my mindset coaching program. The turning point was she implemented the techniques I taught her, and her action shifted. And so when her action shifted, her outcome shifted. And then the success was the transformation, her results that she started booking and selling again. So when you're telling a story, keep these tips in mind. I went a little long-winded here because I want to show you how this all breaks down in a framework so you can replicate it. So you want to keep the story short, 90 seconds or less. Always tailor the story to match the prospect's specific pain point. Now, I don't know what your pain point is, so I couldn't tailor it, right? Just fit you all's specific needs. But when you're doing it, you already know what the prospect's pain point is. So tailor the story to match the prospect's specific pain point by picking a client that's similar to your prospect. Now, here's the secret. Make your prospect the hero. You're not the hero of the story. You're the guide who helps them win. I'm not the hero in the story of Laura. Laura is, because what she did is she took my coaching seriously, implemented everything I taught her, and she's the one that made it happen because she took action. She's the hero. Okay, let's go over common mistakes to avoid. All right. First of all, you don't ramble. Don't ramble. If you have to have notes, have your notes with you, but don't ramble. If your story takes longer than 2 minutes, you've probably lost them. All right. Don't make it about you. Your story is only useful if it helps the prospect see themselves in the story. And then don't exaggerate. People can smell a fake story a mile away, and trust is everything. Trust is everything. So don't ramble, don't make it about you, and don't exaggerate. So here's your action step. All right. Here's your, sorry, I took myself out. Think of one client success story you can use this week. All right. Write it out in the struggle turning point success framework. Write it out and practice telling it in 90 seconds. Then watch how it shifts your next sales conversation. All right. Watch how it shifts. Now, if this episode gave you any kind of an aha moment, then you'll love my upcoming Mindset Reset webinar. Storytelling is just one tool that I teach. And to get in on the early bird special, as I said in the beginning, it's only $47. That's it. Until Friday is when the early bird closes and the price goes up. I put the link in the comment section if you want to go ahead and register. But also, and I always forget to ask this, would you like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Savvy Sales Lady? If you do that for me, I really appreciate it because I want to be able to do more of these. And the more that YouTube likes the videos and you all like the videos, the more that I'll be able to produce for you. And that's the goal. So storytelling is just one tool in the bigger framework that I teach to help sales professionals break out of their mental barriers and close with confidence. So click the link in the show notes to grab your spot. And it's October 21st at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Is it 7 p.m. or 8 p.m.? It's either 7 or 8 p.m. I forgot now. And oh my gosh, it'd be great to meet you on the webinar. It really will be. So remember, everyone, as we close out, stay savvy.